Welcome to Simulator Adventures and welcome to Assetto Corsa. Today I'm having a look at a mod. This is the Bmw M5 E60 mod. So this is the fourth generation of the BMW M5. First launched in 2005, and this mod is just amazing. It's everything that you'd want a mod to be in this game. It's well detailed, it performs well, it sounds great, and it's quite a stable mod. There's not really many glitches or problems, and it doesn't have Assetto Corsa's strange sound bug. It looks pretty good on the inside. It looks even better. Got these nice leather seats. We're in a silver version, so all the different colours come in different seats. You can have red seats. You can't choose what colour seats you have, but you can choose the colour on the exterior, and then I think the blue one has these horrible red seats inside. Well, it's your own opinion, but I personally like this cream leather. And is that carbon fibre dash? Yeah, it looks quite good. So yeah, the interior is well modelled. Back seats looking a little bit weird. That little sort of like light thing up there doesn't look very good at all. But I mean, you're only going to be looking at the front, and it looks great. You'd be very happy with this if it was in the game as standard. So that's a good mod in my books. Engine sounds good inside and sounds even better outside. It's just incredible. And it drives really well. Maybe a little too well for the real car. I've never driven an M5, but I'm not so sure it can hold the lines around corners as well as this. And maybe the real car is a little bit more tail happy. I haven't got traction control on, so not really sure. I've crashed. Just ignore that. Ignore that. It doesn't matter, because this game actually has this car has no damage, cosmetic damage. It does have mechanical damage, so you can make the engine die if you crash into a wall too fast. Anyway, unleashing 500 horsepower. I'm presuming this car is in M mode. We don't have an option to change that in the game, but in real life, M mode basically made the suspension stiffer, gave you 100 extra horsepower to play with, so from 400 to 500, and it does, this car does drift if you want it to. Just stick it in, go on the grass, let's go. Right, I'll show on the next corner. Yeah, I only recently got this mod, so you have to learn every single car to drift it. It's just that every car has a different personality. God, I'm really sounding stupid there. Cars don't have personalities, they have tyres and power. That's what they have. So yeah, launched in 2005. This was the fourth generation of the M5. It's the E60. It's got a V10. V10, I mean, those are the kind of engines you put in Lamborghinis or well, not many saloon cars, let's just say. Usually it's a V12 or a V8 they put in these really fast ones. In one way, this is kind of the first modern M5. All the others before it had straight sixes, I'm pretty sure, so this has something a little bit different. Now the M5 in 2018 has moved on to four-wheel drive, but you can disconnect the front wheels, so you get a kind of like a drifting rear-wheel drive M5. Even though normally you'd want to keep it in four-wheel drive mode. This is rear-wheel drive, obviously, as you can see from the crazy tail action you can get around corners. I'm using the manual. There is also an Smg Semi-Automatic. Whoa, whoa, whoa! So yeah, there's a semi-automatic version called the SMG. A lot of people I've seen review the real M5 say that it's quite a clunky gearbox, and it does feel like that in the game. You use the paddles, and the car just lurches forward. It's not something you'd want to have in real life. In the game, it just means that there's kind of a delay on the gearbox. So if you really want to use all 500 horsepower coming out of a corner, you might have to wait. Oh dear. You might have to wait for the gear to change. No, you see, I've never ever been able to get this like 2 in 1 drift. It's just not possible, but doesn't matter. What else can I say? Oh yeah, they made an estate version or a station wagon, or just wagon, whatever you want to call it. So that's extended the rear of the car. Whoa. And I think it's the only M5 estate they have ever made. Listen to it. It's just incredible. 4 exhausts, quad exhausts, amazing. None of this fakery either. I mean, at the time when this car was released in the early 2000s, or the normal 5 Series was released, it was pretty controversial. I mean, BMWs before had looked kind of, well, normal, I suppose. They were just a bit tame. And this was competing against the, E-Class at that time, which was also new, and the A6, and they looked pretty tame. So this, a car came along and looked like this. And I mean, all 5 Series look something like this, just that this M5 has slightly better looking wings and spoilers and lips. In fact, it doesn't have a spoiler. I'm lying. It doesn't have a spoiler at all. It's got this like shark fin on the top there, look at that, for the aerial. And a sunroof. Huh. Can you see the sunroof inside? Yeah, sort of. Can't open it. Would be nice. Just open it up. Here we go. Okay, it goes around corners rather well, and it brakes too, apparently. So if you mess up on a corner, you can just brake really harshly, and it'll stay straight and narrow, and yeah. I can see the fuel gauge going down. That's kind of worrying. I think when we started, was it at half? I don't know. Yes. Cut the corners. So the top speed of this car is 155, but people who had it de-restricted, because the car is restricted to 155 under European regulations, say that this car can go over 200, which in a big saloon car is just amazing. 0 to 60, 4.2 seconds, claimed, but in America they did do tests with the Smg version, the automatic version, with launch control, and managed to get 4.5 out of it, which was slower than the Mercedes E63 of the time. So BMW probably weren't very happy about that, or they were just lying about the about their 0 to 60 time, which is something a lot of companies do actually. There you go. So the interior in here, it's not dated too badly. Feels alright. Not much in the way of technology I can see. I mean, there's that centre thing there, the BMW's iDrive, which, as far as I'm aware, well, I've used it once. It was awful. It was really bad. It doesn't really feel like a computer. It just kind of feels. Well, yeah, I suppose you don't want something in a car to be distracting, so you don't want to feel it like a computer. But it just was not easy to use. It was. There were so many different options. You just thought, oh, I just want to tweak everything. I want to. Well, I shouldn't have been doing it. It wasn't my car, but yeah, I think all I wanted to do was change the radio. But, you know, that's that. Ooh. I mean, in this game, what would the purpose of having iDrive being able to use be? You wouldn't be able to connect to a radio station, obviously. Navigation would be pointless because we're just driving on racetracks. Although I suppose it could come up with the track map, which this game has. See if we can get that up. Where is it? There you go. That could be in the navigation bit on the right there. Whoa. So yeah, we're at the Nürburgring. The Nürburgring is just a crazy track. It's actually called the Nordschleife Tourist. Oh, we're dead. Ah, no. And now I've busted the steering, look at that. That's centered. It's not a place you'd want to drive if you weren't confident with yourself. I mean, yeah, it's fun in a game, but here, not great. Not doing very well here. So yeah. Ah, we're at the long straight, I think. Or are we? Yes. Right now, we can see. Just ignore the wheel. It's fine. It's fine. We can just see how fast it can go. 190 kilometers per hour. Let's get miles per hour. Oh, that's quite small. 145. Can we get to 155? Can we get to the claimed top speed? 150. Oh! Well, that's the BMW M5. I didn't realise there were barriers here, and I didn't realise the barriers were going to be made of some sort of rock. I mean, that's just ridiculous. Oh dear, wheel's not looking good. So, from the BMW M5, I will see you next time for another Assetto Corsa mod. And if there's any cars you want me to review or have a look at, as long as you know they're in the game, because, I mean, the community's slowly growing the amount of mods you can get for this game. If there's anything you want to suggest, just leave a comment for me down below. If there's anything you want to ask about the mod, ask me down below, and I will leave a link to the game and the mod in the description. Ooh, steering wheel. I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Subscribe to see more content from my channel, or check out these videos to see more simulation gaming on Simulator Adventures.